Picture this. You walk into a room and someone notices you. Not because you said anything, not because you did anything, not even because you're trying, but something about the way you move, the way you hold yourself, the way your eyes lock onto theirs for half a second longer than usual. It pulls them. It hooks them. It changes the temperature of the moment. It shifts something inside their brain. And you can feel it. They can feel it. A spark, a pull, a tension. But here's the part nobody admits. Attraction isn't random. It isn't magic. It isn't fate. Attraction is psychology. Predictable, manipulable, reproducible. And once you understand how it actually works, you stop wondering why some people get attention effortlessly while others disappear in the background like white noise. Today, you're going to see the truth behind attraction. The parts scientists understand, dating coaches exploit, and most people never realize. This isn't about tricks. This isn't about looks. This isn't about cheesy advice. And this is the real psychology of attraction, exposed. And after this, you'll never look at dating, relationships, or yourself the same way again. Take a breath, let's begin. You've been lied to about attraction your entire life. Here's the myth that you're attractive because of who you are. But here's the truth. You're attractive because of what someone feels when they're around you. Which means you aren't the attraction, you're the trigger. And the real attraction happens inside their brain, not in your body, not in your words, not in your personality. Their nervous system decides before their mind does. Their emotions fire before their logic catches up. Their instincts react before their thoughts even form. You think attraction is about qualities, but attraction is about patterns, about signals, about psychological cues you don't realize you're sending. And you send these cues unconsciously every time you exist near someone. Let me show you how this actually works. The first truth of attraction, the one almost no one talks about, is this. People are attracted to the version of themselves they feel like when they're with you. Read that again. People don't fall for you. They fall for how they feel around you. That's why someone can be objectively beautiful, smart, successful, kind, and still feel unattractive to someone else. It's not because of their value, it's because of the emotional state they trigger. Humans are emotional junkies. We seek the people who make us feel a certain way. Safe, excited, alive, confident, desired, understood, challenged. Think about your past. There was someone you couldn't let go of, right? Was it their face, their body, their resume? No, it was the emotion they unlocked inside you. They made you feel chosen. They made you feel desired. They made you feel seen. This is the real psychology of attraction. But let's break it deeper. Because attraction isn't one thing, it's a layered psychological process. And today, we're peeling back all the layers. The first layer, the frame of emotional influence. Imagine this. You're talking to someone, and within seconds your mind is already calculating. How does this person make me feel? You do it instinctively. Do they make you feel relaxed or on edge? Do they make you feel admired or invisible? Do they make you feel safe or threatened? Attraction is emotional influence. Not manipulation, but influence. The people you find attractive aren't the most perfect ones. They're the ones who shift your emotional state in a way your brain likes. Someone can be physically flawless and still feel empty. Someone can be average looking, but make your whole body light up. That's why confidence is attractive only because it makes other people feel safe. Mystery is attractive only because it makes other people feel curious. Playfulness is attractive only because it makes others feel alive. You're not attracted to traits. You're attracted to your own emotional response. Let me give you a simple example. You text someone you're interested in. They reply fast with energy, instant dopamine. Now you want more. But if they reply slowly, inconsistently, your semen starts spinning. You get curious, then uncertain, then obsessed. Because uncertainty is emotionally stimulating. And your brain confuses stimulation with attraction. That's right. Your mind can't tell the difference between emotional intensity and romantic pull. That's why toxic relationships feel addictive. That's why inconsistent people seem irresistible. That's why the person who keeps you guessing becomes the person you can't stop thinking about. Not because they're good for you, but because they destabilize your emotional state. Your brain mistakes tension for chemistry. This is one of the deepest truths in dating psychology, but let's go further. The second layer, the value frame. Attraction isn't about who is better, it's about who frames themselves as valuable. Humans are social animals. We're wired to assess hierarchy. Every interaction you have includes a silent psychological question. Which one of us has more perceived value right now? Not moral value, not human value, emotional value. If someone feels like a prize, your brain treats them as one. If someone feels needy, your brain devalues them instantly. Let me show you how this looks in real life. Scenario 1. Someone talks to you enthusiastically, trying to convince you to like them. Your brain, lower value. Scenario 2. Someone talks to you calmly, like they could walk away at any time. Your brain, higher value. Scenario 3. Someone is friendly but doesn't need your approval. Your brain, attractive. Scenario 4. Someone puts you on a pedestal. Your brain, unattractive. It doesn't matter if they're stunning, successful or kind, the mind is ruthless. If someone needs you, their value drops. If someone wants you but doesn't need you, their value rises. This is why. The more desperate you are, the more invisible you become. The more secure you are, the more magnetic you seem. Your value frame is the emotional lens through which people perceive you. And here's the part no one teaches you. Attraction happens when the other person's brain says, "This person doesn't need me, but I want them." That's the sweet spot. Not disinterest, not attachment, selective availability. You're willing, you're open, but you're not dependent. This triggers the brain's most powerful response, pursuit. But now we go even deeper. The third layer, the scarcity trigger. The human brain is wired to desire what is limited. This is behavioral economics meets primal psychology. We chase what feels rare. Rare confidence, rare calmness, rare kindness, rare ambition, rare emotional control, rare attention. And the rarest thing of all? Someone who truly sees you but isn't controlled by you, so rarity activates the scarcity trigger. Imagine this, you're talking to someone who gives you attention, but they give that attention to everyone. No scarcity, no attraction. Now imagine someone who gives you attention, but only when they feel it, not when they need validation. Instant scarcity, instant value. Your brain whispers, "This is special, don't lose it." Let me show you a painful but honest example. Have you ever liked someone until they started liking you too much, and suddenly the magic vanished? That's scarcity psychology. Their interest became too available, and your brain stopped valuing it. People don't want unlimited attention, they want meaningful attention. So the question isn't, how do I get someone to like me? It's, how do I become someone whose attention feels meaningful? This is how attraction truly works. The fourth layer, emotional safety plus emotional excitement. Attraction is a paradox. You need two opposite forces. Safety and excitement. Too much safety, boring. Too much excitement, chaotic. The perfect psychological blend looks like this. You feel safe enough to trust them, but excited enough to crave them. Let me show you how this plays out. Example. Person A is extremely predictable. They text back instantly, they always agree, they never challenge you, they avoid tension, they're too nice, safe but not exciting. Attraction flatlines. Person B is emotionally unstable, inconsistent messages, hot and cold behaviour, unpredictable moods, exciting but not safe. Attraction becomes anxiety. Person C is your ideal blend. They are emotionally steady but socially unpredictable. They are warm but not always available. They are attentive but not reactive. They listen deeply, but they don't abandon their own standards. Safe enough to feel grounded, exciting enough to feel alive. That's the psychology of a powerful romantic bond. But we're not done yet. Now we enter the deepest layers of attraction, the ones humans rarely admit even to themselves. The fifth layer, the projection illusion. You think you're attracted to people. You're actually attracted to your projections of people. You see a face, but your mind fills in personality. You see a smile, but your mind fills in compatibility. You see confidence, but your mind fills in emotional intelligence. You see consistency, but your mind fills in loyalty. Your brain creates a story long before you know the person. And the craziest part? You fall for your own story. Not the person, not the reality, not the truth, but the illusion you painted on them. This is why you can like someone intensely before you know anything real about them. You can get attached after one meaningful conversation. You can feel rejected by someone who wasn't even yours. You can grieve the loss of a relationship that never actually existed. Your mind runs simulations, your emotions fill in the gaps, your attraction becomes a mirror of your own desires. But here's the dark side. Projection makes you blind. You ignore red flags, you exaggerate good qualities. You create expectations nobody can fulfill. You turn strangers into fantasies, and then you call it destiny. But attraction isn't destiny, it's psychology. Now we go even deeper. The sixth layer, attachment blueprinting. You're attracted to what is familiar, not what is healthy. This is one of the darkest truths of human desire. Your attachment style, shaped by childhood, trauma, early relationships, determines who you find magnetic. If you felt emotionally neglected growing up, you feel drawn to people who give you breadcrumbs. If you felt judged or dismissed growing up, you feel drawn to partners you have to win over. If love was inconsistent, you crave inconsistency like an addiction. Your brain says, this feels familiar, therefore it feels right. But familiar does not mean good. You're not chasing people, you're chasing patterns, you're chasing emotional déjà vu. This is why healthy people may feel boring at first. Secure partners may feel too easy. Stable relationships may feel less exciting. Your nervous system is calibrated to chaos, so calm feels foreign. If you don't update your emotional blueprint, your attraction radar will always point to the wrong people. This is the hard truth nobody tells you. Sometimes your attraction is actually your trauma talking. But the good news, once you see it, you can change it. And once you change it, your entire romantic life transforms. But there's one more layer, the final layer, the one that truly exposes everything. The final layer, the self-attraction paradox. You're attracted to people who reflect how you feel about yourself. If you feel insecure, you're attracted to people who make you work for their approval. If you feel unworthy, you're attracted to people who confirm that belief. If you feel confident, you're attracted to people who treat you with respect. If you feel emotionally mature, you're attracted to others who are emotionally mature. People don't raise you to their level. They mirror you at yours. This is why your type changes when you change. Your type grows when you grow. Your standards roll when your self-worth rises. Your patterns evolve when your identity evolves. If you want more attractive people in your life, you must become more attracted to yourself, not in a vanity way, in a psychological way, because attraction is homeostasis. You gravitate toward what matches your internal environment. If you want to change your love life, change your inner landscape. The world will reorganize around it. Now let's shift into the emotional arc, the part where all the pieces click. Because right now you might be feeling exposed, or frustrated, or enlightened. Good. This is the beginning of transformation. You've spent years thinking attraction was out of your control, that it was luck, or appearance, or compatibility, or destiny. But the truth is, attraction is a psychological formula, one you can understand, one you can influence, one you can improve. Once you understand that, attraction is triggered by emotional influence. You stop trying to impress people and start trying to improve their emotional experience. Attraction is shaped by value perception. You stop chasing and start expanding your inner worth. Attraction is fueled by scarcity. You stop giving unlimited access to your energy and start becoming selective. Attraction is balanced by safety and excitement. You stop being predictable or chaotic and start becoming stable but intriguing. Attraction is distorted by projections. You stop falling in love with fantasies and start seeing people clearly. Attraction is directed by attachment wounds. You stop repeating old patterns and start healing the root. Attraction is a reflection of self, and you stop trying to earn love and start becoming someone who attracts it naturally. All of this leads to one thing: you become magnetic. Not because you're pretending, but because you're aligned. People feel your emotional clarity, your steadiness, your self-respect, your calm presence, your identity. And the more aligned you are with yourself, the more irresistibly attractive you become to others, not because of tricks, but because of truth. Now it's time for the closing moment, the transformation distilled into one insight. Here it is: you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. So if you want someone who sees you, see yourself first. If you want someone who values you, value yourself first. If you want someone who chooses you, choose yourself first. Attraction begins in the mind, but it ends in identity. Change who you are inside, and the outside world has no choice but to respond, Doi. And here's your mic drop. The right person isn't found. They're drawn to the version of you finally allow yourself to become.